Okay, now let's see where to find our Zapier history. It's actually one of my favorite sections in Zapier. Really, really helpful for troubleshooting, for making our Zaps better, finding out about our Zapier task usage. But right now, let's just see where to find it and see how it's structured. So from the dashboard, here I'm gonna see it right after the apps section that we just saw. Here it is. It seems like a lot, but basically all these fields that you see above is just filters. Here I can search for a specific Zap run. For instance, if I have the name of an invoice or client or whatever, even if it's not in the title of the Zap, I can search for it here. And if it appears anywhere in the Zap that run, this specific run is going to show up down. Right down there. Here I can filter by date range, by the exact Zap that I want to consult, by apps as well, folders. Actually, I think I never used this one to filter by folders, but it can be useful as well. Here you can refresh your filters. And here is just a recap of the date that you would have chosen right here. So yeah, it's just all filters. And here you can also filter by the status of the run. This is it. Here, auto replay. It's something we saw in the pricing sections, in the pricing and plans lesson. It enables me to let Zapier try again whenever a specific run did fail, to make sure that if the failure was due to missing data that has been provided in the meantime, it's going to to replay the step and make it successful. So that saves me a bit of maintenance time. Here it is, and I can scroll down and see all of my runs right here. And I can have it over, a lot of pages. Here, just remember that your runs are kept in history for a maximum of 2 months. So you will not be able to find data and statistics or study some pattern of failed zaps that is older than 2 months in the past. So here it's for the task, it's for the zap runs. And we also have another section about task usage. Here we have the same fields up here, which are just filters. And by default, you're going to see statistics about your whole account. Of course, every of the data that is shown here belongs to the specific time frame that you specified, which is 30 days in the past by default. So here you can see the number of your zaps that were activated at least once, and the number of tasks that you have used. And you also have it split up by day of this date range, to see, for instance, if there is a pattern of higher usage on weekdays versus weekends, or a specific week in the month. You will be able to see it here with this chart that I like a lot. And finally, you will see a ranking of all of your zaps in your account, ranked by the number of tasks they used. So for instance, if you see that you reach your tasks limitation quite early in the month, you want to reduce your Zapier usage, you can see here in this list which Zap did consume the most. So you can find which ones are to blame for your high task usage. And you can also, then focus on these specific Zaps when you want to optimize and cut the number of tasks used. We're going to see that more towards the end of the course, but here is where you can analyze and really realize where are well, the biggest sources of consumption in your account. So this is it. And finally, on both sides, you can see that you have an error notifications buttons, which will lead you here into our settings. And here you can then set up the rules for being notified whenever Zap fails. By default, whenever Zap fails or fails at least 2 or 3 times, you will get an email by Zapier telling you that you have a potential error on the setup of your Zap, so you can be aware quickly and fix it as soon as possible. So this is where the button is, and you can change the frequency for an hourly summary, so as not to be notified at once or never be notified.